Tí Focus Fáilte Chlár Community Focus. Hello and welcome to the Community Focus programme on CavanTV.com. This programme is sponsored by Eason's of Main Street Cavan and Pear Street Mullingar. This programme is live on the internet every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Now, joining me here tonight, later on we'll have Yasmin from Contemporary Living, and Yasmin's going to talk about what's on in Cavan. She has the What's On section on her website, contemporaryliving.ie. But first up we have Seamus Smith, or Paddy, or I don't know what you
whatever
want.
You want, and I don't care. Yeah. Hello.
So, of course, James, we had you on. We had a little clip of you arriving in Cavan last Sunday, which we played last week, and the week before that we had you before you started off on your rocket race from Mizen in Cork to Malin in Donegal, which you completed in just over the 24 hours, was it?
It was 23 hours and 2 minutes cycling.
Fantastic.
But total it was just over 29 hours.
From start to finish, taking breaks, and you had
breaks
to wait
and interviews.
Interviews, of course.
That's a good excuse.
Very important.
Yeah.
That was a fantastic achievement.
Yeah, I'm well happy. Very happy with it. It couldn't have gone much better. I wouldn't change one iota. The weather was fantastic, the support was fantastic, and it was a dream come true. So.
Oh, it was huge. To take on a task like that, and what were the starting off? What was the biggest kind of difficulty maybe that you encountered on the way?
I suppose the lowest point, or the coldest point, was near Athlone, 320 kilometres into the right. So I still had 280. That was tough. It was only 1 degree, and
it was a very cold night actually.
It was. That was tough. That was the only point where I actually thought, could I actually do it, and I didn't.
And to be cycling through that.
Yeah,
all night. It was.
It was lovely to see daylight. Daylight at 7 o'clock, 10 to 7. The sun started to come up, and it was just fantastic. And we rode into Athlone, and the cycling club from Minalty joined me there. That was a massive boost.
Yeah.
But no, it was a fantastic journey. Even to that point, it was tough throughout the night, but that was special doing that. Almost as special as finishing.
And did you have much company with cyclists joining you along the way?
Yeah, I was even in County Cork. I was joined by some of the West Cork cycling club.
So news of you had spread all over the country.
It had. I'm even famous in Ennis, as I found out at the weekend. And then one of the Minalty chaps took a train down to Limerick and met me just north of Limerick, and he cycled with me 230 kilometres, further than he's ever done before. He cycled to Maguire's Bridge. So Donal, who fair play to him, he cycled through the night with me, kept me going. Things were low. Yeah, he was very good. It was a tough one for him because I wasn't much conversation. There wasn't much conversation from me. He was doing most of the talking, but. No,
Dave actually has, you sent in some photographs earlier, because Dave has them now that we can go through them. And
well, that's a start, obviously.
Full of life.
So, thumbs are up, all systems go. I was just heading out the road, a couple of kilometres down the road. That's actually in Cavan. That's the
wee girl Aoife, isn't it?
Aoife, yeah, and her dad, Paul.
So that you were doing it for Aoife. Aoife had been in hospital on Temple Street.
That's right, yeah. She spent 12 days in intensive care. That's me meeting Donal in Limerick. Donal waited for me along the side of the road at 1 o'clock in the morning, waiting for me to arrive.
So that's Donal that did the 230 kilometres?
30 kilometres, yeah, further than he's ever done before. Fair play to him. That's the Minalty cavalry coming to help.
They were out in full force.
Coming through Grana, definitely. It was fantastic to see them. That's me arriving into Cavan and seeing everybody at the cathedral. That was just, that was about 460 kilometres in. There was about 140 to go, and the Minalty guys were heading home. And that was sort of the farewell that was me heading off and leaving them. And you just see in the background, my brother joined me. He had a pair of jeans on, but he said he'd do a couple of kilometres. He ended up doing 140 kilometres and finishing it with me in a pair of jeans.
Go away.
So he was well pleased with that as well.
Yeah.
So he was good company. And that's the end.
That's your it. So it was dark again by the time you got to Malin.
It was after 9 o'clock at night, so didn't really get to see much. it was very windy and very cold. That's all I know about Malin, really.
And you could just hear the roars of Donegal celebrating.
I heard a bit of that going through.
It was all for you,
wasn't it? No, to be fair, the amount of support I got along the way from people tooting the horns and waving and cheering, and I don't think it was all abuse. I think it was genuine. And even in Donegal in the dark, people were out along the side of the road saying, "Go on, you can finish it." So word had obviously spread on the radio up there that we were coming through, which is fantastic. Brilliant. And we were getting tired and sore at that stage, so it was lovely, really nice to see them along the road. They had other reasons to be out celebrating, not shouting for me, so it was great. So yeah,
fantastic. Oh, brilliant.
It's good fun.
And how about, you were doing this for Temple Street? Had you a target for Temple Street? Or
I had 2,000 euro, and currently we're just under 3,000, and there's still some money coming in, so we've blown it out of the water, which is fantastic. I'm absolutely chuffed to bits, delighted.
So double celebration.
Definitely. It's fantastic. I got to live. People talk about having dreams. I got to live my dream, but it was great to be able to help the charity at the same time. So it was a double win really. So it was really good, great time.
Brilliant. Now I'd say that you must have had a great sense of achievement after it. Were you sore?
I was sore on Sunday night when I rolled into Donegal. I was aching.
Yeah.
I was aching, but I woke up on Monday morning, no pain really at all. So I've been blessed. I thought I was going to be in a lot of trouble, but thankfully I've not suffered, and I've been back out on the bike since. So
because you had done an awful lot of preparation work. You do cycle an awful lot.
Yeah.
But to do 600 kilometres and not wake up the next morning, absolutely.
No, I actually could have gone out on the bike, but I think I would have been divorced if I'd attempted. So that was Monday. I took Monday off. I cycled on Tuesday. I cycled home from work on Tuesday. That was my first spin back on the bike. So no ill effects.
What was it like getting back on the bike again?
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
I was expecting it again. I was expecting the worst, but it was fantastic. And at the weekend, I was down in Limerick and I did a 160k. So I took a trip up towards Galway, which was a good test on the body, and so everything's working still.
And you were telling me earlier about was it in Ennis?
Yeah, I got a puncture just outside of Ennis, and I had a tube and I fixed it, but I needed to top up the pressure in the wheel and get a couple more tubes. And I called into a shop there at Tierney's and chatting to the guy, and he said about how far I'd travelled. I said just from south of Limerick, and I was heading to Gort and doing a return. He said it was quite a long journey. I said, well, not too bad. I had a longer one last weekend, and he asked what I did, and I said, I did Mizen to Malin. And he said, oh really? He said, you didn't hear about the guy that was doing it on his own? I was like, yeah, that was me. He went, everyone's talking about you. I'm famous in Ennis as well, so it's been great. It's been really good.
You got a good lot of publicity on it, didn't you? You're on some of the national media picked up on it as well. So
yeah, I got a shout out from Today FM on Saturday, Phil Cawley. So it obviously worked, because as we came through Cork, we got a lot of support from people in the cars. So definitely does work. And Cavan TV obviously as well.
Of course, it was all Cavan TV.
Absolutely. So no, it's been great. I had massive support from my friends and family as well, and obviously the cycling club, Minolta Cycling Club, were brilliant. Virginia Club came out, cycling club came out as well and met me in Granard, and they all came rolling into Cavan, so we came in as a big bunch.
Yeah, there was an awful lot, a very big group with you. How many were cycling with you, like at the time you were leaving?
I'd say that could have been 30 cycling. A massive train. I couldn't believe it. I only got to speak to everyone for a couple of minutes, but everyone took the turn and were very good. They gave me shelter and sort of protected me all the way into Cavan, and that it was such a boost. It was fantastic to have them there, and I think they got out of their beds on a Sunday morning for me is
great.
You know,
but they're very actually professional looking cycling clubs.
Oh yeah,
the whole gear, everything, and they're all the sponges.
There's some serious cyclists in the club, and but it doesn't matter. I've only been cycling a couple of years, and it doesn't matter. I started from zero, and they've taken me under the wing, and quite happy to help each other, you know. And it really has been fantastic family, you know, a new family really I've got.
Sure, one of the stars of the show now.
I don't know about that, but no, it's lovely to to have guys like that, they will do that for you. You know, they really made a sacrifice to come out and do it. So, yeah.
Would you do it again?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I can tell you. Yeah. Did you say this now to your wife and kids?
On the trip home, I actually said I wouldn't bother doing it again. I didn't have the need.
Yeah.
And been thinking since. There are quite a number of people who have shown an interest in doing it. So I don't know if I'm going to give anyone an invite. If they want a personal invite, I plan to do it next year. And if you want to do it in 24 hours cycling or under, you can have breaks as well. Then if you want to send me a message on Facebook, we'll try and get something organised. I'd probably try and do it a little bit earlier in the year.
Yeah, and you could have the more of a even longer daylight hours. You can.
Yeah, and maybe not just as cold.
Yeah.
1 degree is a little bit too.
Which 21st June.
But no, it's something I'm going to work on.
From Malin to Mizen, all downhill.
Somebody did send me a message saying I was a bit stupid. Did I not do it the wrong way around? So I think there's hills in both directions, and I can definitely vouch for the hills in Cork and Donegal. They're definitely there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but no, I'd love to do it and do it as part of a group. And if people want to come along, it's a huge challenge. They can start training, and we'll do it. We'll do it for charity.
And your Facebook page for people who want to contact you.
Yeah, is www.facebook.com/Rocket Run Ireland. Rocket Run Ireland, all one word.
So people can contact you on that if they're interested in
Absolutely.
joining you next year.
And you can still sponsor if you'd like to donate.
Yes, absolutely.
It's still live, and it will be live for a couple of months yet. So, no, it's been fantastic.
The donations to the charity, is that mycharity.ie?
Yes.
Yeah,
it is. And or if you want to, again, message me. If you want to donate cash, check, or whatever to Temple Street, then all is welcome. Some people maybe not comfortable using the computer. If that's the case, maybe get a message to me. My mobile number, I think, is on most of the literature anyway. So if people want to do it that way, I have no problem. I'll cycle around and collect.
Listen, we'll have to leave it there. Thanks so much for
Thank
coming
you.
back in to update us on how you got on, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Huge achievement.
Thank you. Thank
I'll
you very
probably
much.
have you on again next year.
Happy days.
with a big team of people.
Yeah, we've got a few more chairs for next year. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Emil. We'll go now to a short break, and we'll have Yasmin up after the break.
Pat Short here. You're watching Cavan TV.
Welcome back. I'm now joined by Yasmin from Contemporary Living. Yasmin, you have become a regular feature on our programme. You're coming on once a month, the end generally of each month or the very beginning of the next month, just to tell us what's on in Cavan, because you have the What's On section on contemporaryliving.ie.
Yeah.
What's happening in County Cavan in the month of October?
Well, there's loads going on, as always, which is fantastic to see. I've just chosen a few little things to sort of point people in the right direction. I've focused on a few things that are happening actually this weekend, because there's a lot happening, and I thought those things might be worth highlighting. The first, there's a mini Irish film festival happening at the Mughals Theatre. That's this Thursday till Sunday. So it's the first time they've had a film festival here in Cavan, and it's being organised by the Rama Film Club. So they've been in existence for the past 5 or 6 years, and they have films, alternative art films and foreign language films, every Tuesday night at the Rama Theatre. And so they've decided to put on this mini festival of Irish film. So should be really well worth going to.
Yeah.
So tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, the film The Runway is going to be on. The admission's €10. That includes some cheese and wine, so that should be nice, so people can relax beforehand, mingle with each other, and then enjoy the film, which is a comedy, an Irish comedy. Tomorrow evening, there's a children's film, The Secret of Kells, which is an exciting adventure cartoon style
film.
Film.
Awards, actually, that film.
It has, yeah. So that'll be a really nice thing to take the kids to tomorrow night, and it's only €5 per ticket, so it's really affordable.
Yeah.
Saturday night there's a documentary, Dreaming of the Quiet Man, and I know that was that won lots of awards and was really raved about when that came out a couple of years ago.
The film The Quiet Man, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's based on the director of the Quiet Man.
Okay.
His life story and his vision of Ireland and what he thought Ireland was about, and the fact that he sort of imposed his image of Ireland on the Quiet Man.
Yeah.
So that should be interesting. And then Sunday, Albert Nobbs is on at 8 o'clock. So that's €6 to get in, and of course that was again Oscar nominated for the makeup. It was filmed in Dublin, so that I've actually seen that film, and it's definitely worth going to see.
Brilliant.
So that's good. So lots of film going on.
It's different. It's the first time that's been done here, and it's that I'm aware of. So it's
exactly.
Really good.
Yeah, and I think it's the sort of thing that can be built on year as well.
Yeah.
So that I think that's something to definitely to sort of to go out and see if you're looking for something to do this weekend. And then just for the kids, there's the launch of Children's Book Festival in the library. So that's Saturday the 6th from 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. So this Saturday. And that'll be fabulous. There'll be lots and lots of fun. Children's Book Festival happens every October in Ireland. And it's sort of encouraging people to go and read with their kids, explore and enjoy new literature for children. So from 11 till 3, they're going to actually have some prominent authors telling stories from their own books and doing live readings for the kids. Mm-hmm. There's going to be something called the Big Wolf Show with Liam Farrell. That'll be in the event space in the library. So I saw it last year with my little girl, and it's really well worth going to see. So he does lots of actions. It's almost like a drama performance on his own, really. Yeah. So that'll be lots of fun. And they're encouraging kids to dress up, but to make a homemade costume of a character from a children's book, and there'll be a prize for the best costume.
Brilliant.
So I think that's
fancy dress element.
Yeah, exactly.
Adds a bit more fun.
Yeah. So I think it'll be really a fun day out. Again, free, and just it's I suppose it's encouraged children to come in and to learn about books and that type of thing.
It's 11 to 3 this Saturday.
Yeah. So
Brilliant.
that should be really good fun, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then focusing on drama, I don't know whether you've heard of the Mughals Theatre Company. Well, they're an Irish, well, should I say Irish? They're a Cavan theatre company. A group of 3 girls from Cavan have set up their own theatre company. They set it up in January of this year. And their idea is to sort of bring professional, high quality theatre to Cavan, so people don't have to always be travelling to Dublin or further afield. Mm-hmm. And I suppose with the fact that it's 3 women that have established the company, they're also keen on previewing female writers.
Right.
So one of the key women in it has written her own play called Shooting Stars. So that was actually performed during the Flower, and because it was so successful and had such rave reviews, they're going to do another performance the 13th and 14th of October, so a couple of weeks' time, at the Touchline Theatre at the Rugby Club.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never actually been to the theatre space there. So I'm actually going on the 14th. So it'll be interesting to just see what the space is like.
And how much are the tickets for that?
The tickets are €10.
Okay.
So it's really affordable, and you just pay on the door. So if you're looking for something to do that weekend and you haven't got anything planned, just turn up and pay €10 on the door. Sure. So it's a comedy, and well, I think it says they say it's be careful what you wish for. It's based around a story about two married couples, and that's all I know. So it should be interesting.
Yeah.
We should see. The other thing I suppose I really wanted to focus on was the fact that it's Social Inclusion Week here it's across Ireland,
Yes.
but in County Cavan they're really focusing on Social Inclusion Week from the 22nd to the 27th of October. So that's something that happens every year. And I suppose it's really sort of making us think about the people who are marginalised in our society, whatever their background, and encouraging us to be more inclusive as a society. I think it's a really good idea.
And are there many events planned for that week? Or
Yeah, there's loads. There's probably...
County Council generally would organise a lot of the events, I think, around Social Inclusion Week anyway.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's community groups have come together. There's a social inclusion unit here in Cavan Town.
Yes,
that's Emma Coveney. She's in charge of that. And so community groups are doing things, as well as the County Council, the Social Inclusion Unit itself. So there's a very diverse mix of events, actually. So it should be, there's something for everybody, but the theme this year is intergenerationalism. Gosh, I'll get...
Okay, so it's getting older people and younger people to be working together.
Yeah.
And are events that are planned for that week up on your website at the
Yeah,
moment?
they are.
They are, and more probably to be added.
Yes, exactly, because I think a lot of them still haven't been confirmed, because a lot of community groups will be organising things to celebrate Inclusion Week as well. So I've just chosen about three or four events, just because I think there's a lot going on, and of course they're all free, so I think that's also very important in these straitened times, that there's free things going on.
That's great.
On Monday the 22nd at the Bridge Street Centre, from 10 till 1, there's an information session for the unemployed. So that's going to be run by Breffni Integrated, and really it's just an open information session. And I know a lot of people, if they've just recently become unemployed or a long-term unemployed, they don't necessarily know where to go for advice, support, financial help, that type of thing.
Is it like a general information session, or is it more, so it's just a general information session? Yeah, because I suppose long-term unemployed would be quite a different market to a short term as well, so that... Yeah, exactly. And I suppose it's really sort of pointing people in the direction of different opportunities that are available here in the county, and I think those aren't often promoted enough, so I think that should be a really good session, and people don't have to book, they can just turn up. So that's a lot of these things. So if you're at the spur of the moment, you can just turn up on the day, you don't feel committed, if you book in advance. Then on Wednesday the 24th at the Youth Projects building, again that's on Bridge Street. There's just, again, it's an information session. It's all about sort of being volunteering when you're older, so active age and volunteering, and it's the local Feroga group are doing the information session because they want to encourage more older people to come and get involved with Feroga. So I think that's a really nice idea, because as you were just saying, people don't, young people and older people don't really get much of an opportunity to socialise and interact with one another, and we've got such a lot to learn from each other, really. Absolutely, yeah.
In the library, there's going to be a drama performance on Thursday the 25th. That's from 11:30 to 12:30. Again, that's another free event, and it's going to be something called Music Hall. It's a 1 hour
hall, is it?
Music hall. So it should be interesting. So it's going to be sort of reminiscing about the way the music halls used to be at the turn of the century. So there's going to be some traditional music, some modern live music, as well, and I think it's just a farce. So it should be lots of fun to just go along to it too.
That's great. And what date was that again?
That's Thursday the 25th. So you just turn up, but because it's in the event space, it's a limited space. So so they do say that first come, first served, because I think it will be a very popular thing to go to.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
Yeah, definitely. So
sounds good.
Yeah, and then on the Saturday there's a couple of family-friendly events as part of
the Social Inclusion
Week. And again, it's nice these happen at the weekend. There's the Cavan Multicultural Network Family Day. So I went to that last year. That was really fun. That's a really nice thing to do.
And what's planned under that?
So that's Cavan Multicultural Network here in Cavan Town, are bringing all their members together, and there'll be traditional song, dance, activities, games, and showcases from different countries. So the different ethnic groups that live here in Cavan, they'll be there, and there'll be food from different countries as well. So kids and families and kids
And
just to go
is it
along.
open to everyone to attend?
Yeah,
or, right,
yeah.
so it is.
Yeah, it's fabulous. It's from 2:00 and you just turn up.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
it's fab.
Food from other cultures and music or...
Yeah. So last year when we went along, I remember what sticks in my mind is these lovely little Indian girls did a traditional dance. It was just fabulous, just lovely to see. So that should be fantastic, and it's great again for us as a community to come together and mix with people that are living on our doorsteps that we may not necessarily get to meet in our everyday lives.
Yeah.
So I think that should be fun.
It's actually great for kids, isn't it, to get
It
to
is.
learn of traditions and other cultures.
Yes, and in a fun environment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly. So then also on Saturday the 27th, if the weather's good, and I suppose if you want to do something outdoors, but you can never guarantee at this time of year, there's an open day at Fair Green Community Garden. Have you ever been down there?
Fair Green Community Garden.
It's basically, do you know where the new park area that's been created at the back of Tesco as you come up there?
Oh yes, yeah.
Which is the viewing.
The view of the town.
Yeah, it has the viewing platform for the town.
Yeah.
Just below that, there's a community garden. So you wouldn't know unless you know where it is. There's a little sort of bridle path that you can walk down to get to it. There's raised beds there, and the local community have come together to learn about gardening techniques and to plant their own vegetables there. And then they go there every Saturday morning, and then they share the produce that they grow. So it's a really lovely idea, and there's lots of community gardens like that around the county. So it's lovely to see that. So the idea is there's going to be a barbecue. So whoever's organising it is being very positive. Maybe they know something about the weather we don't.
Yeah. And is this barbecue open to everyone?
Well, it is. That's what I think's so nice. The idea is that everybody just brings something.
So you bring your own umbrella?
Well, yeah, bring your own umbrella and maybe bring a few sausages and burgers as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have to bring your own food?
So they just said if everyone just brings something and that they'll cook it there in the day, and hopefully there'll be a nice atmosphere. So I think that should be really lovely.
Great.
Yeah.
We're going to have to leave it. Is there anything major else coming up as well in the...
Yeah, well, of course, the big thing at the end of the month is the Virginia Pumpkin Festival from the 25th to the 28th of October. So there's lots going on there. There'll be fireworks, there's a haunted forest walk, there's obviously the big showcase of all the different pumpkins. And
fancy dress, of
the
course.
fancy, and then the Hothouse Flowers and the Garth Brooks Experience.
Oh,
they're performing.
The band for this year. Very
good. So there's lots happening this month.
Brilliant. Listen, Yasmin, thanks a million.
Pleasure.
We look forward to having you on next month, at the end of this month, and tell us what's going to be happening in County Cavan for the month of November.
No problem.
Great, thank you so much. And thanks to Paul Cox for his chair. I got to sit in his chair tonight. Thanks for watching the show. We'll be back again next Wednesday at the same time. Until then, have a great week. Slán.